It's Video Games 2 on the Mega CD 2 version 2.00. Yeah, I don't know what this is about. I guess there were multiple iterations of the Mega CD in Japan. I don't know what substantiated that. Could it possibly have been more popular in Japan than here? Maybe, but I doubt it. Start button o oshite kudasai. Sure, let's do it. We're playing Sonic CD for the Sega CD or Mega CD, depending on your region CD. Released in 1993 CD, it is one of my favorite games in the franchise, and I love it. And a big part of that is the aesthetics and the soundtrack, but we're gonna get into that and other reasons as we play the game. But we're not gonna do that immediately because this is a Let's Play of Sonic CD on the internet / YouTube, same place. So we have to watch the intro cinematic, especially because we're playing the original CD version, the original Sega CD version, Mega CD version, and not the port for the Gems Collection on GameCube or the 2011 port/remake. It's a remake. So we're actually seeing the compressed redrawn version, where everything has been redrawn for a lower palette. At least the backgrounds were redrawn up to a certain point. From this point onward, they look very fuzzy, and it was pretty clear they were not redrawn, like hardly at all, except for stuff that moves, like these boulders. So like anything that's hand animation and not backgrounds and the like was absolutely redrawn for this, and it looks gorgeous. From a pixel art aesthetic, Sonic looks really clean. Everything's really readable for the resolution. It's pretty impressive. Everything else is a little less so for how grainy it is, but it's still pretty cool. It was done by Toei Animation Studios. Sega or Sonic Team or both commissioned them, and they did this. And they also did another cinematic for the ending. So look forward to that, viewers. You get a special surprise that I've spoiled for you by the end of this LP. Once again, now you know that there's an ending cinematic. I guess there's really no reason to watch through the whole game. You know what's coming now. So, thanks for checking out my LP. Stick around if you want to, but you really don't have to. This is Sonic CD. We're not going to hit continue because continue is going to put me at the last level of the game because this is not my first. This is not my first take recording this game, but I went into those kinds of woes in the Sonic 2 LP, and I don't need to do it again. All I need to do is play this game that I love for the internet, and do it in a way that I'm satisfied with. And that's not so hard. The harder part is not having technical issues. Anyway, this is the gimmick of Sonic CD. We're seeing it right now, less than half a minute into the first level. Time travel. Wow. It's revolutionary. Revolutionary. This gameplay mechanic's gonna be revolutionary. It wasn't really revolutionary. It's pretty cool, but it's very specific in the way that the game wants you to use it, and thus the way that I use it, and the way that most people will end up using it. Before we really get into how time travel operates in Sonic CD, let's talk about time travel in the Sonic franchise to this point. Before now, in 1993, there were what, like, I don't know, 6 Sonic games, maybe? 7, if you're 7 or 8 if you're counting like obscure things from Japanese arcades, like the Waka Waka Patrol Car or the Sega Popcorn Shop, that sort of stuff. So when I say Sonic franchise, absolutely a blockbuster franchise at this point, even in 1993, only 2 years after the first game in the franchise's debut, and, you know, only maybe 3 years after Sonic the Hedgehog has been a public concept. And yet, there is something to discuss here because time travel is going to be implemented in Sonic 2 initially. It was a strong focal concept. Is that a phrase to use? I'm going to use it anyway. For the game. Ended up not going anywhere, of course. You look at the final product and you don't see any time travel anywhere. Even even subtly in ways that are like, maybe Sonic did some time travel off screen and they just cut it out because of budget or development hell. No, not really. There really isn't anything that's like apparent in that way. But it was a huge consideration. There's tons of pre-release material for Sonic 2, including development sketches and like things that have been shown off at developer presentations in just the last like 5 years from people who worked on Sonic 2, showing that time travel was going to be a huge part of the progression, the level progression in Sonic 2. I don't know if it was ever specified exactly how the player would interact with time travel, if there would be any mechanical components, or if it would just be thematic and influence kind of the order the player goes through levels and what levels the player goes through, those sorts of things. But it was still a thing. South Island, or no, not South Island, West Side Island. West Side Island was going to have 3 different time periods, I believe. Maybe 4 different time periods, with only some levels differing between 2 of the time periods, but all the levels differing between... let me rephrase that. 2 of the time periods having some levels in common, but otherwise all the periods having different levels. And that's where a lot of like level concepts that were in Sonic 2 kind of went down the drain. Stuff that did show up in prototype releases, or not releases, prototypes that were released later, most likely at Sega's behest. That had stuff like Wood Zone and Hidden Palace Zone, and just the name Dust Hill Zone will send anyone in like retro Sonic communities, Sonic hacking communities, into a frenzy. So that was a thing. It did end up being a thing. Why am I talking about all this, especially in the Sonic CD LP and not the Sonic 2 LP? Well, for one thing, I didn't care to talk about this in the Sonic 2 LP because I'm talking about other stuff in the Sonic 2 LP. Leave me alone. I'm talking about it here because in Sonic CD, obviously there's time travel, so there's a related component there. But Sonic CD actually had simultaneous development with Sonic 2, and I don't remember if its development started about the same time or later, but it definitely finished later, as is evidenced by the difference in release date. Originally, Sonic CD started as just a Sega CD port of Sonic 1. It was shown off at like trade shows and like very briefly. There's very little footage of it, but it existed. It was a thing that was in progress. And then I think it moved on to being Sega CD's ports of both Sonic 1 and 2. I think that may have been on the table at some point. If I remember correctly anyway, I could be wrong. And then it became its own beast, which I'm happy about. I love this game. Very happy about that. So that happened, and what facilitated simultaneous development is the fact that Sonic 2 was developed in North America. Sonic 1 was developed in Japan by what was kind of the basic makeup of Sonic Team at that point. Spearheaded by Yuji Naka as a programmer and Naoto Oshima as a character designer, artist, I believe. And I think Yasuhara... No, can't remember his last name. That's real unfortunate. I should have looked it up before. You know what? You know what's cool? I'm just gonna wait for the level to start. Don't worry, we'll talk about what's going on here in just a moment. There we go. Hirokazu Yasuhara. I had the last name as the first name, which is very wrong, as a general game designer and level designer. Those were kind of the 3 major people of Sonic 1. Obviously, there were a lot of other people working on the team, though teams were still smaller back then than they were even in like the early 2000s. We're talking about the beginning of the 90s here. So those were the three people who primarily facilitated Sonic 1 as a video game that existed and came to exist. I'm gonna bop you, but I'm gonna get hurt first, and that's fine. I'll get hurt. Oh, but I wanted to at least grab some of my rings. Oh, I like some of those rings. So Sonic 1 happened, then Yuji Naka was like, game development in Japan sucks. I'm going to go be somewhere else where it's not as bad. And goes to... and those are his opinions. Goes to the United States, to San Francisco, where the Sega Technical Institute, kind of the then US branch of Sega. Also, hi, just a couple of characters here, some things happening. Taking a while to talk about this thing, so there's a lot of things being dropped by the wayside, but you know what? Nothing will be forgotten. Nothing will be lost. This is Sonic CD. Sonic CD will remember, and I will remember because I'm playing Sonic CD. Yuji Naka went to the US of States, and... No, I don't want to go to the future. No! Well, I'm going to the future. The future's bad. At least the future is bad right now. We can worry about making it not bad later. You may have noticed the made a good future text already. We'll get to it. For now, I kind of want to, you know, like, get out of the future, maybe. If I can just find a past signpost. Yuji Naka went to Sega Technical Institute and started working with people who worked there and kind of made a Sonic Team US, sort of, and started development on Sonic 2. You will find many more American or English-sounding names in the credits for Sonic 2 than you will in Sonic 1. Not that Sonic 1 wants to make it easy for you to notice its credits. Oh wait, what am I saying? I forgot. I'm thinking of the fact that it has hidden developer credits at the... that works! Yes! No! Oh... Oh, you mean me, Sonic CD. Sonic 1 has a hidden developer credits bonus secret thing, the title screen. Ooh, Bad Future's really mean. I'm getting way sidetracked here. All I want to do is talk about one anecdote. But Sonic 1 does still have regular credits at the end. We've seen them. I talked over them, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I didn't. Sonic 2 was developed in North America. This is a fact. It's absolutely true. Naoto Oshima and I believe Hirokazu Yasuhara both stayed in Japan with kind of the then original Sonic team and continued to develop games. And they moved on to kind of their own attempt at a Sonic 1 sequel, which became Sonic CD. Yay! I got it out! I finally said it! I said the thing. That's where this game came from. Simultaneous development with a US-based development team spearheaded by Yuji Naka. This game is spearheaded by Naoto Oshima, primarily. And you can kind of see it in that a lot of art assets are taken straight from Sonic 1. All of Sonic's sprites are taken from Sonic 1. They're not animated the same way every time, or all the time rather, but they are taken from Sonic 1. Finally, we're going to the past. This is where I wanted to be this whole time. Waste of time. And what's interesting is how this game... Ooh, nice. I like running in the pushed sprite. This game uses a lot of concepts that Sonic 2 also introduced. But does them in different ways, often worse, but not always. I mean, I say often worse primarily because of Spin Dash. That's pretty much it. This is the Spin Dash. You have to sit still and rev it up. You don't have any other choice. You cannot, like, repeatedly press to rev it up. That's me trying to repeatedly press. It doesn't show at all. It looks the exact same as when I just held it. If you try to do this, just whip out a quick spin dash, nothing happens. Congrats. That's it. That's the spin dash in this game. There's also the Super Peel Out, which you can see Sonic sprites for there when he's running real fast. He also does it just by holding up and pressing jump. It works exactly like the Spin Dash, except you're running instead of rolling. It might go a little faster, I'm not sure, but if it does, then that's cool, I guess, but if it doesn't, then that's also fine, because it doesn't really have that much specific utility on its own. It's mostly relegated to any situation where you would much rather not have to deal with the lessened ground control of rolling. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, time travel. Kinda working back to it in a roundabout way. Sonic 2 had it at one point and then didn't, but then Sonic CD may be inspired by the development of Sonic 2. It's possible that they share concepts at some point, especially given my belief that Sonic CD, the project, at one point involved a Sonic 2 to the Mega CD port. Totally possible. But either way, they had that in common, and then it became Sonic CD's defining feature at that point. And the way it's executed here is through... You've seen me do it plenty of times at this point because I've done it in every zone so far. You pass by a post that has a time period on it, you go fast enough for long enough. On the ground, you have to maintain your speed. If you're in the air, you do not have to maintain your speed. But if you don't maintain your speed and touch the ground again, you will lose it. Being in the air is the easiest way to time travel. Oh, really? And yeah, then you go from one period to another. Every zone starts out in the present, and you can go to the past, where there are things that you may want. Or you can go to the future, where there's nothing that you want, and everything's sad and awful. But there are ways to make the future better. I've been doing both of them so far, because I think it's fun to do both of them, but if you do all of the time stones, the not Chaos Emeralds we're getting from these special stages, where you have to bust up UFOs, it's fine. All of the other method disappears, because all the futures are automatically made good. The other method that I've been doing this whole time is to go into the past and find these machines that are everywhere. I don't know if they have any specific name. They've probably been given some sort of specific name in like the US manual for Sonic CD, or maybe even the Japanese manual, or maybe even the European manual, or maybe literally any manual for this game. But you bust them up, and then all the badniks in the zone are gonzos. They just disappeario. Don't have to worry about them anymore, they just don't exist. Congrats. I want to get rid of this future, I don't want it. After a certain point of going fast enough with a period kind of in your pocket, so to speak, the little spot where it shows the period on your heads-up display will start to flicker. And at that point, if you don't finish that time travel, you are losing that ability to time travel with that specific post. Speaking of time travel with that specific post, that's real fun. There are a lot of places in every zone that very clearly make it easy to time travel. I think kind of the intent from the developers is for players to experiment with different methods of getting and maintaining speed with the level design, learning the level design, and then going back, doubling back on it to try to, I forgot, that jump is hearts. Doubling back to try to see if they can't run fast enough for long enough to get where they want to go. How can I get up there? I forgetios. It's either I gotta go further or I gotta go back. Oh, never mind. You just gotta make the good jump. Wow, last time I tried playing this game, I couldn't make that jump for some reason, and it just worked out. Lucky, lucky me. But despite that, probably being the intent of the developers, there are many set pieces in every level that make it really easy such as the stuff in Collision Chaos Act 1, where it's just a looping near full pipe with 2 springs at the bottom that send you back and forth the whole way. Makes it easy to keep up your speed. Whenever you hit a spring, it's not cancel your time travel, so it's so easy. It's kind of trivializing. It's a little sad because there's a lot that might be more interesting about this game if it forced you to be more creative in utilizing time travel, but it's okay. Because what having stuff like that does instead is it makes for a much more streamlined experience. Ooh, spikes. Don't want that. Don't want spikes. And that's one of the things that I value a lot about Sonic CD, if I'm being honest. It's intensely replayable, even compared to Sonic 1 and 2. Even compared to Sonic 3, which has a save feature. This game also has a save feature, but it's not long enough to really warrant it. Much like Sonic 2. And Sonic 3 is not that long either, and when I say Sonic 3, I mean Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the entire Sonic 3. So, you know, full game that probably takes like 3 hours to complete, maybe, depending. Compared to like Sonic 1 and 2 that are an hour and a half or an hour. This game, in my experience, has been about 2 hours, but I swear I can beat it in less. It feels so weird. It does not feel... This is another big thing. You know, harkening back to my lengthy screed in Sonic 2. That game, despite only taking about an hour to beat, even if you don't entirely know what you're doing, maybe an hour and a half, feels longer to me. It's more arduous to get through than this game, which, the way that I play it at least, takes like a couple hours, 2.5 hours maybe. And to be clear, a really important aspect of this game, in the way that I enjoy it, is that you can beat it in less time than that with even less brain power if you don't even bother to go for the good ending. Or heck, even if you try to go for the good ending but you don't go out of your way to go through the different time periods to go to the past and find the Badnik powering machines. If you just leave those alone, it takes a lot less time to get through this game. You might notice that the time totals at the end of my acts are not even that long, honestly, like usually only a couple of minutes. But if you pay attention to the timer while I'm playing, the game actually subtracts time from your timer when you time travel. I think the devs did this to make it less likely that you'll get a time over while you're trying to explore, because this game is about exploration but still penalizes you for taking your time. I don't remember if we ever encountered it in the other 2 Sonic LPs. Straight up, I can't remember because it's so inconsequential, but we may have hit a time over at one point, maybe intentionally, if something bad happened. You cannot stay in any given level in a Genesis Mega CD Sonic game for more than 10 minutes. You'll get a life taken from you, you'll get sent back to the last checkpoint with your time restarted. I'm guessing this is to encourage you to play fast and loose, and or like to encourage speedrunning. You know what? Actually, it makes a little more sense. It's probably meant to tie in with kind of the design philosophy that Sonic 1 was built around, of like play the game a lot, learn the level, get better at it every time you play, and the timer is probably there to like let you see a real visual representation of how much better you're doing, to make certain that you feel it as a player. It doesn't make as much sense here, where, first off, the levels are less linear. They're much less funneled than, or let me rephrase that. They funnel the player a lot less than both Sonic 1 and 2's levels. Especially 2. 2 really wants you to just go from left to right. Sometimes it'll flip you around, but it mostly has a pretty clear direction for where it wants you to go. I think I want to fall down here. Yes. This is what I want, is this past post. If I don't get this past post, the latter half of this level, which makes it really hard to backtrack, but it is possible, becomes a nightmare. And that's kind of the thing. The levels are designed to be backtrackable, whereas the levels in Sonic 1 and 2 are really not. In a lot of cases you can go further back in the levels in Sonic 1 and 2. But for one thing, there's not usually much reason to, unless you're doing like a ring attack thing, where you're trying to get all of the rings in a level, which is, you know, personal challenge, and probably not entirely expected from the developers, or even suggested by them. But it makes a lot of sense here, because you're wanting to look for one specific thing to suit a gameplay mechanic, that's the time travel posts, in order to facilitate further exploration, which is looking for the thing that's powering all the badniks, so you can break it. Oh, I didn't get 50 rings, which means I'm not going to the special stages. Oh well, it's not like I haven't already gotten a lot of them. And I will be holding off on getting the 7th one, there's 7 in this game, until the final act of the whole game. And even then I might not get it. That's what happened last time I tried to record this game. Who knows? Who can say? The future, as they say, is not yet written. And in what game is that more appropriate, dang it, than Sonic the Hedgehog CD? Oh no! I rolled into the ball and chain, the spike and sad. Don't get hit by these breath projectiles. There we go. They push you around quite a bit. It's really annoying, actually. It makes it hard to do the little, very minor platforming just to get that past post there. But we got it, and we'll be taking it to where we need to. Up here is actually pretty safe to just run along this whole stretch to the right and get time travel that way with a couple of jumps, but you can just do it here, so why risk it? I'm playing for safety. At least with the time travel stuff. With everything else, nothing matters. So on the subject of level design, that's one of the major contentious points in regards to fandom opinion of Sonic CD. And yes, there's a lot of fandom opinion about this game. Oh, wouldn't you believe it? Oh, this part is annoying. Especially right here. Gotta do a good jump. There we go. No, let me up, let me up, let me up. Yay, I got up. I was let up. The game was so kind as to do this one favor for me and let me up. And then right over here is the salvation we seek. And I have 63 rings, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna not get crushed right there, and then I'm gonna go up into a big ring. A lot of people feel like Sonic CD's level design doesn't want you to go fast. And they're right. That's it. That's kind of the whole conversation, is that a lot of people dislike this game for its level design because its level design is very stop and go. At least in later levels, it's very stop and go. In these early levels, it's mostly just, you know, keep along in a methodical pace is very Sonic CD in the early levels. Ooh, I'm surprised I didn't land in the not water at all there. Oh no, I'm gonna get sent right into the water, faceplant. Let's break from level design. We'll talk about it again on the other side to talk about these weird special stages. Because I haven't talked about them at all yet, and I'm on, what, the 5th one now? This might be the 4th one, I'm not sure. I haven't been paying full attention. I've been on a little autopilot, you may have noticed, because I've been only diverting my train of thought to talk about when my time travel's been going wrong, because that's kind of the only thing I really need to think about much in this game when I'm playing it. Oh Oh no, I kind of need you. I kind of really need you. There's a time limit. There's a time limit in these special stages. If you stay in too long, yes, okay. You'll get booted out. It's bad. If your time goes below 20 seconds, a special blue UFO shows up in the center of the field, and bopping it gives you another 20 seconds, I think. Might have been 30, but I think it was only 20. There we go, we're good. We don't have to worry about time now because I got the last one. You can land safely in the water. Looks like oil here. If you beat the last UFO in that jump, it doesn't matter at that point. You have the time stone. Cool. So I'm up to 5. I like the color on this one too. They're not Chaos Emeralds, so they don't have to align by the Chaos Emerald colors, and you end up with this nice kind of teal. It's pretty. Speaking of pretty, I like the Good Future colors for Tidal Tempest. This is the Good Future, by the way. You've seen the Good Future 3 times now, because if you get Good Futures in both Acts 1 and 2 of a given zone, Act 3 is always in the future, so you'll either see that trying to talk and then not seeing much success. You'll either see it as the bad future if you didn't make good futures, or the good future if you did make good futures, because, you know, that makes sense. Of course it would be. I mean, you made those good futures, they're good. They're good for a while. They're good until, like, next August. I guess I can finish talking about the special stages, or I can just cut myself off and save it for next time. No, you know what? This boss is a thing, and it's just gonna be a thing, so I'm just gonna talk about the special stages. Ugh! Don't get shot. Getting shot sucks. You jump into UFOs for some reason. I don't know why. I think Sonic Team in Japan had some interest in using UFOs as a symbol or antagonist kind of symbol or something. Use the word symbol twice, it's fine. Just judging by the fact that the Marble Zone background in Sonic 1, oh no, I got shot, at one point, had UFOs in the sky, just hanging out, flashing. I think they were added back to the Taxman Stealth iOS remake of Sonic 1 as like an Easter egg or something. Basically, I'm just saying that like Sonic Team might have thought UFOs were interesting from some sort of design or symbol standpoint and wanted to use them. And then they didn't for one game, and then did for another game. And then US Sonic Team had nothing to do with UFOs. Did not care. Could not be butted to care about UFOs. So you go around and you jump into UFOs, and sometimes they give you power-ups. Usually it's rings, sometimes it's speed shoes, which makes you go faster, which honestly, I kind of wish they wouldn't. I have to adjust the way I expect to run into them when I get speed shoes. There's a past post right here, so we're just gonna time travel all easy like with these conveyor tubes? Conveyor shuttles? They're interesting. And then water really quickly saps your time, so you don't want to be in the water. There's a whole rings mechanic, just like in the regular levels, but if you get hit by something when you have 0 rings, you don't die, you don't get booted out of the special stage, it just keeps going, but you faceplant still. So the important thing is the stun from getting hit, because you can fall into the water like I did last time. That sort of thing. But the rings themselves don't seem to matter at all. It's weird. They're strange. The special stages are strange in this game. This is the truth. Oh, come on. Come on, Sonic CD. Come on. The collision in this game is a little funky sometimes, unfortunately. It's not awful or anything, it's just a little funky sometimes. That's rude, but that's okay. I might still be able to get my rings back to get another special stage try. But no, I just want to get up there. Just want to get up there. Just wanna get up. There. Yay. I've did the done. So I don't know why there's rings in the special stages, and I still don't know why they bothered having the UFOs give you rings sometimes. It's really not worth anything, actually. Oh, here we go. Now we're talking. This is... Oh, I can't get those rings because they're in the terrain. This happens sometimes with the level design of Sonic CD because I think the object placement, or maybe at least the rings placement, might be consistent between time periods. But what happens is that the terrain, the level layouts, are not consistent fully. There'll be small differences to make navigation of each period feel slightly different. And so you get stuff like that where there's just 4 rings hanging out in a wall, can't get them. That's fine. By the way, I love this zone. This is Quartz Quadrant. This is my favorite zone of the game, and I had to acknowledge that before I go back to talking about other things. I guess that's kind of all there is to say about the special stages. We're going into... Oh, are we going to the 7th one right now? No, we're going to the 6th one. I started talking about the special stages finally at the 5th one and then continued. This is the last one we're going to be doing until the very last act of the game. So, cool. That's out of the way. I guess kind of the last interesting thing to say about the special stages is that they have a lot of neat visual design. Sometimes you get stuff like this that's just, ooh, look what we can do with palette and warping effects. Like we're a gosh dang Super Nintendo, but we're not. We're a Genesis with a CD-based add-on. Isn't that cool? But some of the other special stages have some interesting, like, scenery, like specifically scenery design. There's one special stage I believe we've already seen. I don't think it's the 7th one. Maybe it is the 7th one. But I think we've already seen it where it has these kind of curved posts all along the outside, kind of giving the impression of being in a closed-off location. Something that's domed, maybe. It's really interesting and visually cool. There's also another one that has a floating island in the background with like temples on it and water floating or flowing out through it and falling off into the ocean. It's really pretty. Oh no, and then I'm gonna lose. Nope, yeah, I'm gonna lose, because I'm not gonna be able to curve around fast enough to get this. Nope, never mind. Holy heck. That doesn't happen. That's not a thing that happens. I'm going to tell you right now that this is fake. That didn't really happen. It is possible to hold back to slow yourself down, which I probably should have been doing more often. But not possible when you're in the air, I don't think, or when you're in the air from one of those fans, at least, maybe. It's fine. We got plenty of tries. There's 7 zones in this game, and Acts 1 and 2 of each zone give you an opportunity to go to the special stage, so... Like, at this point I've only squandered 2. I messed up just now in Act 1 of Quartz Quadrant, and in Act 1 of Collision Chaos... Or no, Tidal Tempest, I didn't even get a special stage, so like... I'm good. I still have plenty of chances. We are gonna go over here, I believe, and time travel through the same method as we did in Act 1. I can't remember where exactly it is. Ooh, watch out! That little buddy wants to shoot at you, but cannot. Thing's broken. I don't want to hit that post yet, because I don't want to waste it in case they need it. No, I'm going the wrong way. Ah, dang it. Well, I'm wasting it anyway. Because where I want to go... I thought I needed to go this way because I remembered going this way repeatedly to get another past post because I didn't have one when I needed one. But I do have one. Oh, and there's another one right here. That's neat and useful. But what I really want is another one of those conveyor chutes that shoot upward. Some of the set design in the Sonic CD special stages is so cool and inspiring that I think at least one of the backgrounds, the one with the floating temple with the water flowing out of it, was reused in one really important and well-known Sonic Hack, Sonic 1 Megamix as a level backdrop. It looks really good. I want to see actual Sonic Team try to make a zone out of that background. I haven't really talked about it, but we did notice it. I kind of brought attention to it very briefly. But when you're in the present, and especially in the future, you can find lots of badniks that seem kind of dilapidated, really worn down, which is a fun little detail. They'll have entire parts of them that should be doing something that aren't. It's honestly a little sad. But then you go to the past and they're all functioning just fine. Shows you how... Oh, I never talked about the story for this game. We watched the intro, but it really doesn't tell you that much without words. Well, you know, we're halfway through the game. Let's talk about it. This game's story. Because, you know, Sonic 1 and 2 had stories too, but it was just... Eggman's a mean person, and takes a bunch of nice little woodland creatures, and it's like, I'm going to use you as batteries. That's pretty vile, and everyone hated that. And Sonic was like, well, I'm really fast, and I turn into a buzzsaw when I roll, so I think I'm gonna do something about this. And then in the second game, Tails is like, I love you, Sonic, you're so cool, I wanna come too, and Sonic is like, okay. But Sonic CD has a much more in-depth and riveting plotline. I'm playing real bad. Really quick while we're here, it's worth noting that the special stage progression in this game is more concerned with showing you all the stages than it is with, like, forcing the player to undergo player progression in playing the special stages to see success. Because, like, that's how Sonic 1 did it also, which is probably another development through line between Sonic 1 and this game, but in Sonic 2, which we didn't even touch on the special stages, because god, I hate Sonic 2 special stages, but in Sonic 2 special stages, you could only go to the next special stage if you beat the special stage that the game is putting in front of you. In this game, in Sonic 1, even if you lose a special stage, you'll go on to the next one, which means you gotta wait out the rotation again to get another shot at the same special stage. This one's pretty hard. This is 7. It's pretty hard. I think I totally should have hit that UFO, but you know what? The spatial awareness is not great in these special stages, because they don't have any sort of like native sprite scaling they can call on for these UFOs. They have to do it through a bunch of different sizes loaded or drawn into the game's data and loaded into memory and that sort of stuff. And it just don't work all the time. I wouldn't even say it works most of the time. But gosh, Sonic CD has a plot, and by that I mean it has a little more of a plot. It's kind of cool. In the world of Sonic the Hedgehog, there's this little planet that orbits around the big planet, I guess, probably. I'm guessing. Well, I'm taking a long time in the special stage. And it's called Little Planet. And it comes into close orbit every about a century. And you know, Eggman's alive right now, so he looks at Little Planet and is like, you know what? That looks like something I could conquer. So he tries. Oh, finally got that one. And succeeds, basically. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, bad. Oh, no. Please. 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 No. Let me. No. Sad. I'm real sad about that. That's okay. Special stages 6 and 7 are like actually difficult. Special stage 5 is a little difficult too, but I did it good. So he's like, I'm gonna go conquer that. And Sonic sees that after the fact, just goes to see Little Planet and sees that it's chained to the whole planet to keep it from leaving, which is terrifying, and also encased in a huge shell. A huge metal shell. It's awful, and makes everyone upset. Sonic looks at that and is like, that makes me upset, and decides to go fix it. Especially because at this point he's been tailing after this Eggman dude for 2 whole games, and he's probably just thinking to himself, I don't know if I can let this guy go anywhere at this point. I think I'm gonna have to be his chaperone. So Sonic becomes Eggman's chaperone, and hops on a Little Planet, and starts mucking up all his stuff. Which is what we're doing right now. We got this weird treadmill. It's an exercise machine for a person like Sonic. Oh no, I got Spiked. And we're using it to wear down Eggman's absolutely invincible, God, what was it? Like, was it a capsule? Or was it something else? I'm making a Mother 3 reference. Enjoy my Mother 3 reference. Absolutely safe capsule. Wasn't invincible, it was safe. It probably still wasn't capsule though, I'm probably still something else. Oh, I just noticed we're like 2 pixels off the ground. Oh, I hate that. Why is that the case? Wow, I just realized they did all of the alignment for Sonic's animations with his head and not with his feet on the ground. I thought that was only the case with his walk animation, because, you know, in Sonic 1 he actually bobs up and down a bit, in this game he stays perfectly static. But it's also the case with his run animation. He's like 2 pixels off the ground. Why did they do that? I hate that. Why am I only noticing that today? I've played this game for how many years? Why am I only noticing that today? Okay. I've been talking about a lot of stuff. We need to take a small break and kind of come back to the subject of story and characters. I gave you the general plot, so now you get it, but there's more to talk about. I'll get back to that in a bit, because we're in Wacky Workbench, and this zone trumps all. There's nothing else to talk about when you hit a place like this, except where you are and what is going on. What you're seeing right now is the core gimmick of Wacky Workbench that informs almost every level design decision. The floor likes to send you up real high, and when it does, you are often sent to places you don't want to be. You either have to do somewhat precise platforming down below to avoid getting bounced up, or you have to intentionally bounce yourself up and take the high road, which is not always easy. There are plenty of places where you try to bounce yourself up, I'm gonna get shocked. There's also this background gimmick with the coils that get electrified, and it's the worst. It's the worst, I tell you. There are plenty of places where it's not really feasible to get to the top with a bounce, or rather, with anything other than a perfect bounce. And it's pretty upsetting. Overall, I don't like Wacky Workbench. Also got these platforms that spin you around and take away your ability to move left and right while you're on them. You have to jump off them to be able to move left and right again. Where is a platform I can land on? There is one right there. Game don't want me to land on it right now, though. Game wants me to get electrocuted. There we go. Now it's time to do some platforming. In a Sonic game? Awful. Worst. Oh, there's another pass post there. That's good to know. That's helpful. Ooh, you almost dropped something on me. I would have been upset. Would have been made of tears. Just fallen apart into a human-shaped pile of wet. Let's see, where am I trying to go? I think I want to head up maybe here. This is kind of a fun platform, but it's fairly underutilized. Oh, we can't actually go anywhere with it right now. Not with that one anyway, maybe with a different one. Where do I need to fall? Where do I need to fall? I don't know. It's a real fear. No, don't shock me. Okay. I think it's possible to get— oh no, rude. To get flung off of those platforms that spin you around. Maybe. I would kind of like to bounce up right now, but I would also like to have rings if I do that. Send me high up. Did I maybe just pass up where I wanted to go? Is that what happened? I'm blanking a little bit right now because, you know, spoiler. I know exactly where I want to where I want to go. I just can't remember where in the level it is relative to where I am right now. It's— you've probably seen these things already that look like crushers in this zone toward the top pass. They're not crushers. They're actually these chutes that quote-unquote crush you and then send you into a tube and then pop you out somewhere. There's one in specific that I want to go to. I don't know if I've already passed it, because I think I'm getting near the end of the level now at this point. Another past post up here. It's good to know. There's a lot more opportunities to go to the past in the zone than I would have really realized, which is a godsend in a place like this. I think they realized what they were doing, but only a little bit. They only realized enough to try to help the player out, not enough to not do it. They should have not done it. Can't go up here either? I think I just went past it. At this point, I'm pretty sure I'm at like the end of the level, so let's well, I'm not time traveling with that, so I'm gonna have to go grab this past post up here. This is what happens. This is what happens when your route gets screwed up. So the biggest problem with Wacky Workbench is that it's pretty chaotic. It is hard to judge where you will be going in a lot of moments. And it has a lot of hazardous spots that kind of go hand in hand with that chaotic nature. In that you don't know where you're going to end up can also mean you don't know if you're going to get hurt in the next 3 seconds. And it's real frustrating. It's also just not very conducive to exploration, which is kind of the core tenet of the whole game to this point, is allowing the player to go wherever they want, wherever they need to, in order to be able to, you know, find the 1 or 2 things they're specifically looking for everywhere. So, you know, it kind of, if I may say this, just doesn't work at all. Can I time travel right here? Yes, I can. So that's kind of neat. I do like that. I do like getting that done, because the chute that I'm looking for could time travel me. If I got to it and had past saved up, and yeah. But now I don't have to worry about that, which is nice. This looks familiar. Please take me where I want to go. At least the music in Wacky Workbench is good. Maybe now is a good time to talk about the music, you know? The music in Sonic CD is very good, but it ends up being the second biggest point of contention, if you can believe it. This wonderful soundtrack that I love that was a part of this, the Japanese version of Sonic CD, and the European release of Sonic CD, was composed primarily by, or sorry, not primarily, entirely by Naofumi Hataya and Masafumi Ogata. You may know Naofumi Hataya from some other select things. Maybe, if you're a fan of obscure Genesis Japanese-only strategy RPGs, Hybrid Point, you might be aware of. You probably don't know Masafumi Ogata from like anything else, though. He did not do that much other work for Sega. He did some, but it's not that much. Sonic CD is the biggest soundtrack. In terms of size that he's worked on, in terms of number of songs that he's composed for the soundtrack. and they're both great. This one, I believe, was composed by Ogata, I think. I believe Palm Tree Panic and Quartz Quadrant and the next zone and the last zone, I believe, were all done by Naofumi Hataya. I'm fairly certain. Oh yeah, where am I going to time travel? I remember. I know where I'm going to time travel, but I have to get there now. Got a little sidetracked talking about music. Which, you know, music's good. So I love this soundtrack. It's great. It's wonderful. It's magnificent. Masafumi Ogata also composed the opening theme, You Can Do Anything, which, fun fact, was originally composed for Sonic 2 on the Game Gear and Master System, which is not a soundtrack that Ogata worked on primarily. It was composed by Ogata and then transcribed and added to the game by someone else, different composer for the game. I don't remember who, though, offhand, unfortunately. Naofumi Hataya composed the ending credits theme for this game, which I absolutely adore and will get to. We will get to it. Okay, so all of that is said. Sega of America, Sega Technical Institute, heard this soundtrack and was like, are Americans in the 90s really gonna like this? It's really, like, house-inspired. Does anyone like house? Everyone's really into, like, nu metal and and industrial. So, and rap, which, you know, rap, house, hip-hop, there's all a correlation there, but I don't know if anyone who wasn't black really liked acknowledging rap in the 90s because of racism, but anyway. But the point I'm getting at was that someone at Sega of America heard this soundtrack and thought, I don't know if this is gonna sell. And that person is a dunce. And that's all I have to say on that matter. So they commissioned or brought on or whatever Spencer Nilsson and I think 2 other people maybe who did work with Spencer Nilsson and backup vocalists who did work with Spencer Nilsson to do an entirely new soundtrack. And by that, I mean a mostly new soundtrack, because all of the past themes in this game... let me start over with that thought. All the music except for the past themes in this game is all streamed audio, Redbook audio, CD audio, which means that it's is a recorded audio file that can only be played back and can't be, like, manipulated. I mean, nowadays we have the tools to manipulate recorded audio, but hopefully you understand what I mean. Like, this is kind of the distinction that there was in the 90s, and especially all the way up through, like, early 2000s. Streamed audio was not the standard for video games up until like, the 6th console generation. I think the 6th was GameCube, PS2, Dreamcast, Xbox. I think that's right. I may be misremembering. Before then, it was sequenced audio for games, which was either waveforms from a sound chip, so sound channels that are capable of outputting specific waveforms with instructions, or sample-based sequenced audio sound chips like the Super Nintendo and the N64 and the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn. All of those had sample-based sequenced music sound chips, which meant they could play back samples and manipulate samples and have audio data for samples. Hold on, I need some water. You may notice I've been talking for a long time. So all of the music in this game that isn't the past music is streamed audio, because that was a novelty for the time, and a lot of developers and marketers, especially, saw it as the way of the future. Which, they were right, but the way that it was done at this time was not the way of the future. CD-based consoles, for a long while, were not capable of managing looping music in terms of having a loop be anything more than just the audio file plays and then it stops and then we start it up again. So that's just what that was like. Anyway, all the music in this game except for the past tracks is streamed audio, so by assumption that must mean that all of the past tracks were sequenced audio, right? Yes, they were. So they're all instrument data and note data in the programming for Sonic CD. I'm going the wrong way. I'm going to stop going the wrong way. By the way, Good Future Wacky Workbench is so garish. It's almost the same colors as Good Future not Chorus Quadrant, Good Future Title Tempest, but utilized in a much worse and uglier way, and it's great, and I love it. It's perfect. I wouldn't change it for the world. I think the use of sequenced music for the past zones music could have been a statement of intent from the developers and or composers as like, this is the past, we are moving away from this. It could have also been a space-saving measure, because dang, you know, MP3 files take up a lot of space, as it turns out. Especially in the early 90s when you didn't have that much room on compact discs for your everything. So you end up with CD-based games with Redbook audio, streamed audio, where all of the music takes up about like 7/8 of the disk space. I'm pretty sure it's not even an exaggeration. It may even be, I may be under-exaggerating. Which is a word that I love using and is a good word, and yes. Sequenced audio for the past tracks. When Second Technical Institute got Spencer Nilsson in and had him compose new music, they did not have anyone there, Spencer Nilsson or otherwise, recompose any of the past music. This is a problem because what results is a game where... Excuse me, I'd like to go in a specific place. What results is a game where 3/4 of the soundtrack is saying one thing in terms of like thematic music content and musical genre, and then the other 1/4 of the soundtrack has nothing to do with the rest of the soundtrack, and it's just super not cohesive at all. Oh, I lost my past. No, my past. I have to go get a past again. Luckily, there's one right here. Oh no, I had no history for a moment. That was scary, being a non-entity in this world. So I have some misgivings for the US soundtrack purely on that front. It is not a cohesive soundtrack. If they'd... Oh. What? Are you kidding me? When did I hit a future? Oh, that's such garbage. That's hogwash. That's a bad meal that makes me feel sick after I've eaten it. What am I gonna do now? We're not supposed to hear this music yet. It's special. It's special, I tell you. It's supposed to save it for a good moment. I guess we'll go down here again. So I don't like the US soundtrack. Oh no, I wasted my past. Now I have to get another one. This is a train wreck. This is a travesty and two halves, which just makes it a two travesties. Please, let me do what I would like to do. It doesn't want me to. I lost my past again. I went just too long. Will this game stop being rude to me? No. No, it says. The big reason I don't like this about the US soundtrack, because I know a lot of people who don't really care about it, it's not a big deal for them. You know, it just means that the songs are a little different, and that's cool, like those songs too. the big reason that's a big deal for me is that, like, I love it when composers for any context, I can't believe I lost my past again going around that loop. I love it when composers for any medium, but especially games, reuse themes to establish like a connection between things. In this context, like it's... Oh, thank God. In this context, it's creating a unity between the different time periods of each zone. The fact that they share motives and a general theme and progression to that theme. It's really cool, and I like it a lot. If you can hear the music over me talking at any point, you will probably notice that, yeah, the melody is very similar between... Oh, you did this to me. Between the different time periods in each zone. And I love it. It is my big favorite. I'm one of those people who eats up the Undertale soundtrack, so, you know, that's me. That's what I live for in soundtracks. So the US version doesn't fully have that. It doesn't even have that between time periods in the songs that it does bring to the table, which is super weird. I don't understand it at all, if I'm being honest. Okay, now we're actually going to go where we need to. If I can remember where it is. Spent a long time babbling about my grievances. Oh, here we go, it's right here. With the Sonic CD US soundtrack. Can I just jump down to it? I could. Maybe. Try that again. There we go, that works. Kind of stopped my speed there in an awkward way, and it worked. As a side note, I really love Stardust Speedway Past. It has such a beautiful aesthetic. All of the overgrowth on all the tiles, the kind of Greek-Roman inspired architecture in the background that's really different from the present and futures for some reason, but it's cool. I really dig it. In the water, the music. I really like the music. The music. So I don't really like the US soundtrack. But also just, I don't think the compositions are as interesting or as catchy. A lot of people who like the soundtrack probably grew up with it, and there's literally nothing wrong with that. That's cool. Like, that's just how it be, and... Oh, really? I'm not gonna knock you for that, like... That's fine, but, I'm just never gonna agree with you, and... The sooner you accept and understand that, the happier everyone's gonna be, I'm pretty sure. That's how I understand it. Cool, where am I going? I lost all my rings. That's silly. Here we go. Oh no, no goal, no goal. I want to get one of those last two time stones, please, before the final zone. Please just let me. Unfortunately, Stardust Speedway is very mean in this regard because it has a lot of obstacles that don't die when you break the Badnik powering machine. Oh yeah, there's also this. I think we've hit like 3 of them total at this point, maybe? Little projectors with Metal Sonic on them. Oh yeah, I never finished talking about the plot. The projectors don't do anything mechanically, they're just there, which is fine. What they do is you break them, and then a bunch of animals show up and start hopping around because they're happy because they don't feel terrorized by this projection of a not real thing. Or rather, the projection is not real, but Metal Sonic is very real. They're very scared of Metal Sonic, which is understandable. Pretty intimidating. So that's the thing. There's one in every act. I think they're not even just in the past. I think they're in all periods, maybe. So it's not like the machines that power the Badniks. That sort of stuff. I think I lost most of the rings that are in this act. I wish I had like a shield. A shield would be real nice. Ooh, I want that life, even though I don't really need it. My lives are either at 9 or above 9 right now because they actually cap out. Or rather, they don't cap out. The counter caps out at 9, but you don't stop getting lives if you pick up more, which is nice but odd. I don't think I really want speed shoes right now. I think it's going to be an active detriment to my gameplay life. All I want is more rings, but then I end up inside the wall. I don't know why I'm singing, but instead I got speed shoes. More speed shoes and invincibility. Ooh, where does this Springo take me? Will I ever know? Maybe. Maybe. I think I started backtracking in this zone a little early. I can go a little further. No, wait, why? No. Nope. I'm going to have to try to get the last 2 time stones in the final zone. Oops. Oh, wait, what am I doing? No wonder I'm getting confused to turn around. I'm still in Act 1. I spent a long time in Act 1 because I was trying to get rings. I mean, it was still for a good cause. I should still try to get... all the time stones as soon as I can. Okay. Luckily, time travel and what I want to time travel for are both right down here. So this is not so bad. This is Act 2. Getting over there is a little annoying. I don't think I can just... Oh, there's a spring right here. That's why. Oh, I don't think I remember that being the case. That's cool. Time travel is very easy. Right here, there's just a spot with 2 springs. Thank goodness. I can't handle much more at this point. Gosh. Plot. So we saw Amy Rose and Metal Sonic earlier, all the way back in Collision Chaos Zone. Right at the beginning. That was the special good times. Why did I lose my shield when I time traveled? That's so strange. Oh, really? Could I just not get hurt instead? Oh, so that's not solid. That's why. Oh, rude. Well, you know what? That's fine. I didn't have that many rings. The shield was nice, though. The shield would have actually been really nice to keep. Time to go ring hunting. Can I just... What? What's going on here? Collision? Chaos? So, Amy Rose and Metal Sonic. This is the first time they've ever appeared in any video game. Ever. The Metal Sonic here is not the same Robot Sonic that was in Sonic 2. It's different. This one becomes a mainstay of the series. That one, which often gets referred to as Silver Sonic, I don't really know why. I think it might have been called Robo Sonic in a couple of games, which... That's fine too. That one never goes anywhere. Just Sonic 2 only. And if you really liked that one, I'm sorry, because you'll never see it again unless you play Sonic 2 again. Which, hey, maybe that's what you want. Just to play Sonic 2 forever. I know a lot of people like that. Metal Sonic becomes a mainstay of the franchise, though he doesn't appear for a lot of games after this one. He does make one other special appearance that we'll see in this LP series, but only that. It's not really... Oh, rude. It's not really what we would consider a mainline Sonic game. Anyone with big knowledge of the franchise can probably figure out where I'm going with this, but anyone without, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll get there when we get there. All I really want is to wake up fine. Tell me that I'm alright. And then I'll get all these rings. Ooh, I want those ones, but I'm pretty sure I literally can't get them. Yeah, I think they're all either relegated to other time periods, or they're just there for no reason, completely inaccessible. Will never amount to anything. Who can really say? The physics of these tubes is really wonky and inconsistent. There we go, I'm trying to go up here so I can escape and be somewhere else in the passage of time. Could really use some rings. Could really destroy Metal Sonic thing if I wanted to. Why did that just, like, not send me anywhere? Ooh, where's this gonna take me? Nowhere? Anywhere? Ooh. It took me to functionally nowhere. That's fun. I don't know why that's even there. Ah, here we go. This is the indoor section of Act 2. It's kind of fun. Has a neat look to it. Looks kind of like a cathedral. I think it was... I think this kind of section was inspiration for the Taxman Stealth Sonic 2 iOS Remake's Hidden Palace Zone boss out of the arena that it's in. I think that's entirely speculation on my part, I'm pretty sure, but I feel it. I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my bone, singular. Oh my god, I have 50 rings. Could I get to the end of the act with them? Good god, maybe. There is a slim chance. If the game would be so kind to me. Incidentally, this is a great zone to finally be talking about Metal Sonic and Amy again. Yes! And, you know, we'll see that in just a little bit. But for now, I have a time stone to get. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. So the reason these last two special stages are hard is because the UFOs move more erratically, and to be clear, all the UFOs have preset patterns they never deviate from, but that doesn't mean they're easy to predict because, well, you know, I spent all my time playing this game not really bothering to try to memorize the patterns of these things, I just kind of wing it, and that's usually to my detriment, I'm pretty sure, but it's still what I do. Oh, get it, yes! That's one of the more annoying ones. This one's also annoying. Please stop running away from me. Why are you running? Why are you floating? Oh god, no water. I don't have the time for water. Oh, I don't want to speed shoes. I don't want to die. No, let me have it. Wow, this really isn't going in my favor. I'm really gonna have to save rings somehow in the last two acts of the game. It's really not easy. Everybody, let's enjoy the good future music for Stardust Speedway for just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's the Latin percussion that really does it. It's so good. Say hello to Metal Sonic again. Haven't seen him since all the way back in Zone 2, but now it's Zone 6, and be careful, don't get killed by Eggman's awful death laser that he uses to kill you. That's the actual name of it, it's in the instruction manual and everything. That's the real threat of this. This looks like it's a race between two rivals, but it's not. You can race Metal Sonic if you want to, but he rubber bands in your favor. When you're ahead of him, he rubber bands in his favor, but when you're behind him, he rubber bands in your favor. The real problem is that, well behind Metal Sonic... Oh, is that... okay. If it touches you, you die. It touches you at all, you die. So that's pretty not good! I don't want that! There's also all this track that's kind of above the track, these floating platforms you can decide you want to go up to or don't. It's usually a more straightforward path, but it's harder to stay up there unless you have the path memorized. Amy Rose is here. And the camera up. We all love Amy Rose. And she loves us. She has a cute little, like... I think in this game she's like 10, or maybe 8. she's a baby child. She has this cute little child crush on cool heroic teen Sonic, and that is why Sonic will never reciprocate, because why would you do that? Why would you, if you're like 15 or 16 years old, why would you ever date like a 10-year-old? Besides, she's just infatuated because she saw this guy being really cool, and also he saved her life. So like, cut her some slack. She's a kid. Leave her alone. It's fine. Oh god, time traveling in Metallic Madness. This is the last zone of the game, and it's evil. Ooh. I'm just gonna do something silly really quick. Not quite like that. I wonder if it'd be a good idea to come from that platform, actually. You may remember what I said. It doesn't matter what speed you're going for time traveling if you're in the air. It just doesn't. Ooh, I think I know how I can do this, actually. Come on, do oh, you're just gonna push me off, huh? Instead of lift me up. You could raise my spirits, but instead you're out here pushing me off, shoving me into the ocean. We're gonna try something like this really quick. Not quite. We need to not hit the wall before we hit, before we hit the spring. Ooh, my shield that I liked. You know what? I just remembered. There is an easy spot to time travel in this act, and I just forget it every time. I forget it every time. I'm pretty sure it's down here. I think so. Oh, but I don't want future. I want it past. It's okay. I'm not out of luck. By the way, it's these things. It's these dang things and saw blades that really make it awful to try to hold on to rings in Metallic Madness. It's actually factually the worst. They switch fairly quickly, so you have to time yourself with them pretty specifically. Have future, I might as well grab future again just so I can eliminate more future from this zone, because I don't ever want it. Slow down. This game doesn't like having that many rings on screen. The music here is great, as it continues to be. Nope. So I've definitely, at this point, passed the time travel spot, but that's fine because I don't even have the period I want to time travel to. Oops. I don't think we're getting the time stones, which is fine because I'm adamantly going to time travel to the past in every zone. It's simply not going to happen. Okay, can't go back up from here. Pretty rude, all things considered. We can backtrack this way. It's pretty annoying though. Oh, and there's a past post here, which is good. If that wasn't clear, it's very good. Do I want to go all the way up here? I think maybe I do. Watch out for these guys. Buzzsaw beetles. I love them. They're actually really cute. Make a fun little noise. As they're rubbing their saws constantly, forever. Oh no! I fall. That's fine though. I didn't fall bad. Oh, don't get crushed! Don't get crushed. Get the other past for no reason. It's like right around here, I think. Ugh, let me buy you. Thank you. No? Not here? Ah, here we go. Thank goodness. This is all I want. All I want. And now I can try to hoard some rings. Oh yeah, you get this weird music thing sometimes where, if you're time traveling to the past, specifically, the music starts playing early if it happens right as another track is ending. I can't believe I've encountered that, like, more than once. Enough times to, recognize what's happening and, like, address it. Oh, rude! That's okay, all is not lost yet. All is still not yet lost, I swear to God. Yeah, be careful falling in the zone, as it turns out. These badniks are cute. They don't hurt you unless you land on them. They just like to roll you along. It's only a little annoying, trying to get out from between them sometimes. No. I want to, no. I want to, bop you. Bop. Little bop going on. I think I know what I'm going to do, which is I'm going to gun it for the Badnik machine, and then probably die, and then try again to hoard my rings. Because you do gotta play it safe, and you gotta know how to navigate things. No, I don't want to go down here. I know that it's basically the bottom path, but I kind of always forget what sorts of things I encounter on the way to it, so I just go for bottom the whole time. Ah, here we go. We're on the right track right now. It's right down here. We may even still be able to get rings from here, but we'll see. I wouldn't count on it. There's a 10 ring up here, I believe, and there's a 10 ring, yeah, there's a 10 ring that's on the way to here that we just passed up. We can go grab. So that's not gonna put us with nothing. We're not gonna have nothing. So it could be worse. Oh, there's another 10 ring right here. Cool, so we're at 30, which is actually something, but don't get hit those spikes. I swear to, I've done that. I've been hopeful, coming back from that exact section with 30 rings and being like, yeah, this might actually work out, and then bounce right into that set of spikes in the ceiling. It's so disheartening. Let's see. Can we get more rings? I like more rings. Ugh. It looks like it might even be safer to jump over this saw, but I don't know, it sounds kind of scary, because then I do stuff like that. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna die. 7 minutes on the clock, I'm just gonna die. Not worth it. I was waiting for that ring to despawn, but it just super did not. The game just wanted to be nice to me, and I'm like, can you please be mean? You've been so mean up until this exact moment, but you won't be mean to this level. I need you to be mean to this level. Also an extra life down here, so my death was not in vain. As if it really matters. Shield. Shield, you are my best friend in situations like this. I see some good amounts of rings down there that I could maybe go get, and... I guess I'm gonna go down here and go get and... Oh, can I get those rings even? It looks like I can't. Were they in the wall and I just didn't notice? They were probably in the wall. Okay. Time to be trepidatious. If I could get the 30 rings from that path right now, I would be golden. But I might not need to, which would be nice. It'd be cool if I could be a little more direct to the goal and not go all my way out of that, go all the way out of my way just for that. I'm not gonna chance those other 3. It's not worth it. Be careful here. You kind of fall before you land on the platform again. It's really wonkily coded. I mean, maybe not coded, but like designed. They really should have let that not happen, in my opinion. They made them work seamlessly in Sonic Mania, thank goodness. Because the Sonic Mania devs know what's better game design. I think I'm gonna be okay. I think I'm gonna be okay because I don't need to chance much from here. I don't need to go far out of my way. There's another ring monitor right over there that I can go to try grab. But I don't have to go out of my way to deal with any really dangerous obstacles from here. On the path to trying to get more rings. So. Come on. Let's be safe here. Literally just one more ring. Will you be so kind as to give me one ring, game? Yes, you will be. Oh, but it's over a saw blade. I don't want that. Okay, we're good. This is the end of the act. Oh, thank goodness. There's hope for me yet. Because I always like to get both the time stones and the individual good futures in every act. I don't know why. I always play this game the same way. I say that about every game I play on this channel. Okay. I gotta do this. Really, that really looked like it should have worked in my favor. I'm going to intentionally just do that a couple of times. Oh no, it still didn't work out. Oh no, don't fall in the water. No, I need you to don't do that, Sonic. How can I make you this? There we go. That was pretty good. That was pretty solid. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump right into the water for that, and it didn't work out. No, it didn't work out. Didn't work out the way we thought it would. You know what they say, an arranged marriage is not so good. Who in the world is going to have any idea what I'm referencing? No! The dream is not dead yet. The dream is not dead. I won't let it die. I won't die. I won't let me die. You hear that? I'm not gonna let it happen. I'm here to stay. You. You. No. These are all the worst. They always turn around when I least want them to. Not when I least expect them, when I least want them to. There's a distinction. At least you get to hear this really good special stage music. This is also one of Ogata's works, I believe. According to official soundtrack credits, I believe. Oof. I don't like being speed shoe-ized. No. Yay. I was hoping that would work, and it did. So, lucky me. Please. Stop floating in just the absolute worst places in this world. You. I have you now. No, I'm gonna land on the, no. Ooh. Clutch. Ooh, you ever actually work up a sweat playing the Sonic CD special stages? Who can relate? Okay, it's do or die here. I gotta go for it. It's only so much time left, and there's just the one, and got it. Okay, everybody, the pressure's on. I have one chance to get the last time stone, and the good ending does not hinge on it. But I have one chance to do it, and I'm going to try to do it. I'm also going to try to drink some water. Okay, Metallic Madness Act 2. This is the behemoth of Sonic CD. This is the least linear act. It is the most confusing in its lack of linearity. And it's pretty much the only act in the game that like has the Badnik powering machine on such a side path that you have to do massive backtracking to get to it if you miss it. And there's even an opportunity on the path that it's on to fall off the path in a way that you can't get back to where you want to be. That's really frustrating. Can I make the jumps that I want to? Maybe I just need to go a little less fast. Oh, I think I just managed to fling myself off it. That doesn't usually happen. That will do. There we go. That's a little better. That's a little worse, but still not the worst. It's gonna be okay. Ugh. Okay, we'll just do it again. Because I really want to get up here. I really want to get up. I don't need to get up to get on the path that I need to be on. I need to get up so I can time travel where I want to be. Oh, I should have used this spring this whole time. That makes things a little easier. There we go, because there is a past monitor up, or not monitor, post here. And you know what you can do on these? You can go real fast forever. You don't have to worry about anything. Time traveling later in the act is a lot worse, so it's better to just do it now. Metallic Madness 2 has one other defining feature, at least in this version of the game, not in the 2011 Taxman remake for iOS and 360 and Steam, but we'll talk about that more in a moment. We have to go somewhere specific. In this case, I think actually we do need to go up. I kind of forgot. We do want to be up just because there isn't any other way to progress from here in the past version of this act. Gotta go up. But it's not that bad. That delayed my jump for some reason. I think I'm just gonna jump over to the left instead. Yeah, that's safer. I guess I'll just have a future post with me. I don't want it, but I'll have it. I should be trying to get some rings. Oof. Go ahead and come down here for some more rings too. And one more. No, just one more, because I really don't want to have to go scrounging for rings later. I'd rather do it now when I have more patience. Okay. Here, I believe we have to go left. This is a very specific place we're in now. And we want to be careful. Here we go. It's not that bad, but just knowing to go this way is one thing. If you fall down here before going there, it is possible to get back up, but it requires specifically timed jump. Just doing it for fun at this point, as everyone knows. Yeah, using physics to your advantage to make your way back up. So you're not out of luck, but I believe there's still a point of no return going this way. If you go far enough. Or I might be thinking of when you go this way in the present. I think there's somewhere you can just fall. Yeah, you can just fall down right here. So if you go this far, you cannot go back at this point. Which, to be fair, at that point you've kind of missed the machine by a mile. But yeah. Oh, I didn't want to turn back in the background again. Oops. Okay. So at this point, we've only sort of done what we need to. Only sort of. There is a weird quirk of the level design here in Metallic Madness Act 2, in the past specifically. And what that is that you can't progress past this point in the past at all. It's not possible. So you have to go back to the future. Or rather the present. You can go back to the future too, but I don't see the need to go that far. I guess I should have actually held on to my future that I had. Kinda wasn't thinking, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. I know in the present, toward the top left very start of the act, there is an easy time travel spot, but I don't know if it's in the past at all. I can't remember. I feel like it goes away in the past equivalent. Right, I wasted that future post. Yeah, I don't know if we can backtrack quite that far from here. If we go up here, we just go on the left side of this whole setup, so not really any point there. I don't think there's any progression going right. Yeah, just a dead end with one of these bomb enemies that I absolutely hate because they're indestructible, just like the bomb enemies in Sonic 1 and Starlight Zone. It's actually the worst. Yeah, I don't think there's anywhere to go from here. Do I need to die? I might need to die. That may be a real possibility, which is frustrating considering... never mind. I was gonna say it's frustrating considering I have enough rings, but you know what? At this point, it's faster. We'll just get those rings again. I got them to this point, I can get them again. So yeah, if you try to go any further from the point that I was talking about, there's nowhere to go. There just really isn't anywhere to go at all. It's really frustrating because if you kind of get into... Ooh, that was close. If you get into the gameplay loop of this game, you probably end up doing the same thing I've done this whole LP, which is intentionally go to the past and then stay in the past to beat the act. You might start scrambling at that point and freaking out like, where am I supposed to go? There must be something I'm missing. But no, the thing you're missing is that you're not supposed to go anywhere. You need to get out of there real quick. Back to the present for us. And in theory, if you go back to the present and then grab a past post and then time travel after that point, I'm pretty sure there's level design there and you can beat the rest of the act. I'm fairly certain of this. But I've never done it, so I'm not speaking from experience. Okay, this is a pretty feasible spot for time travel. But you gotta kind of know where the spikes are first. I'm not sure if I want to do it. I'll give it a try. Never mind, I forgot there was a hole there and just managed to fall directly in. There is also down here, but I don't know if there's anywhere good to time travel down here, so I'm not sure if I'm going to chance it. I think I'm just going to try killing from this side. The extended camera helps here too. This is something that only Sonic CD does. Ooh. Does time traveling allow you to run on spikes, or do those spikes not have an active hitbox? I don't know what just happened there, but I'm not upset. I'm not upset even a little bit. Oh cool, and it put me in the foreground. And there's no bomb there. I love that. I love it when there's no bomb there. Right? I think? Is progress? Yes. On the right path, you get to go up here. And there's like actually somewhere to go up here. It's amazing. You never see these kinds of luxuries in the past, which, thinking on it, there's a little bit of hint that you might want to not expect something like that in the past, given that Metallic Madness Past has this clear, like, thematic aspect of being a construction site, being a work in progress. But it's still pretty bad, and not conveyed to the player clearly. So it's really easy to get a time over in Act 2 and just not understand what you did wrong. Where you were supposed to go. Please don't let me get hurt. I say milliseconds. Centiseconds before I get hurt. Frames. Only frames before I get hurt. There's still a chance, but it's gonna require some work, and I'm not gonna like that work. But I'll do it. That means we're gonna be here a little bit. You have to bring... I hate you. You have to bring those kind of stomper platforms over. We're tiny! I love this. You have to bring those stomper platforms over to get enough height to actually go up that way. We're tiny! This is the short-lived and underexplored gimmick of Metallic Madness Act 2. On top of the other gimmick of the path options that open the level up and make exploring it the awful, as we've seen. He doesn't have a little a springing up sprite, which is sad. It would be really cute if he had one, but he doesn't. I'm going to go out of my way to try to get as many rings still. This is my lot in life. This is all I have left, is trying to get these godforsaken rings and get that last time stone. Don't get scrushed. as always, you want to avoid getting crushed. It is a little fun playing in these cramped environments that only teeny Sonic can go through, but it's also a little bit not fun. Cheek point, don't get hurt. I swear to God. I hate those. I hate those enemies so much. They are just not fun. So here we go. Here's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna go all the way up here. We're gonna deal with this weird little gimmick where these spike blocks just kind of fall down. You wait for them. You get leverage. Trying to get crushed. Get out of there. And we're gonna go back. This is a one-way door, so now we have to play through all of that again. That was a bad idea, and then I spent about 15 more minutes in this zone hating every moment of it. Let's see the highlights. Oh, there's a past post here. I wonder what would happen if I went to the past at this point. I wonder if I even could. Dang it, that was a waste. I was really trying to land on the spring. Fun fact, everyone, this isn't fun. Why do I want to go to the past so bad? I don't know. It's something to do and I've never done it and I'm curious, and this will be forever preserved in the context of YouTube. So I feel like it'll be interesting. Maybe from over here? No. That was real for a moment. That was so real. Okay, the dream is not dead. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna get even more rings. More than you can imagine. Here we go. I knew it was doable, I just freaked out too much that it started to work, and didn't know how to finish it. Wow, I've never done this. This is a YouTube first. I don't know if anyone's ever done this. This might... oh god. This might be a thing that not a single human being has ever done in the history of being people and playing video games, especially on the internet. Ah. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna get those 2 rings that are over there. I mean, I could, but seems kind of unnecessarily risky. Wow. Yeah, I'd never been here. I wish I had more energy to care. But this is pretty cool. I'm gonna have to deal with another bomb enemy over here. I think I'm gonna get another time over. This has been absolutely scintillating, I'm sure. Yeah, I've gotten all the rings that are over here. I've seen 2 more rings. I did get hurt by a bomb, didn't I? Didn't I? On the way over here, didn't I? I had enough? I did. I remember getting hurt by this bomb. I still picked up 42 more rings after that, so, everyone, pray with me. We're doing this. We're doing this. I'm sorry. My sincerest condolences. Teeny Sonic doesn't have a death sprite. In Sonic Mania he does. What? Oh, I never got a checkpoint in the past, I guess. Oh, oh no. Oh. No, I just realized how bad that is. I'm gonna time travel. I hate this. I'm gonna go to the future. I don't wanna be here. But I may as well grab rings while I'm here, because there's a handful. And there isn't really anything that can hurt me in this opening section, so may as well take advantage of it. I went this whole LP without mentioning it, but I'm pretty sure that rings respawn when you go between time periods. Oh wait, that's why I had 10 rings, because I brought some over from the present, huh? Eep. Oh, do rings respawn? Looks like maybe they don't. I'm not seeing as many rings here. Okay, well, let's just do this again. If I gotta cut this out or fast forward, I will, because this is getting out of hand. This LP should have been done like 20 minutes ago. But here we are. I hate how this bomb just comes over here and waits for you. You can dodge it though by going back into the background, which is handy. Still awful. At least I think you can dodge it by going in the background. By golly, I hope you can. I don't want to deal with that. Dealt with it enough at this point. Hate those enemies. Moving on. For the love of God, moving on. I'm invoking God's name a lot this LP, it seems. Doesn't really have any significance for me, I just felt like addressing it, I guess. As it sure has been the case. Huh, that checkpoint's already activated. I wonder what that says about the other checkpoints that I've hit in the present, if they're also already activated. Okay, we're safe. I really wish I had a shield, though. Wouldn't something like that be real nice? Okay. This is really cool. This is an advanced strat. We're going to not land on spikes or enemies. I know, it's... yeah. Oh, and that's the other thing. Why are there enemies here right now? If I went back to the past right now, the machine would still be broken, for the record. It is still broken. The other thing, though, that I really just cannot stand is the fact that these bomb enemies are still here. This would be true even if I hadn't died, and apparently brought all the enemies back for some reason. I guess they just don't count as badniks? I don't know why. Maybe it's because you can't kill them personally? I don't get it. I only hate it. Made of hatred for this zone. You know what I should have done? Is I should have just pretended that we were starting the zone over, or when we were starting the zone over, that it was my first time in the zone. I should have just done that. Then I would have looked so good. Everyone would tout me as the best Sonic CD player on the internet. Which isn't true. I watched the Sonic CD speedrun at HDQ this year. It was pretty good. I'm pretty sure I'm not as good as any of those people, so... already factually incorrect. Bomb. Bomb time. 8 bomb. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious about the checkpoints here. If I actually have them or not. Don't hit these spikes. That'd be such an awful way to go out with this zone, to hit those spikes at the last moment. Done a great job dodging them this whole time. I don't know if I'm gonna make that jump. I'm not gonna chance that. Can make this one though. Yay! It's over! And now I still have to get the time stone. This all could have been for waste. All could have been pointless in the long run, because I might still not beat this special stage. Funnily enough, we're finishing off with special stage 6, but anyway. We're doing this, man. We're making this happen. Happen, maybe? I'm not sure. Write in the comments how you think you would pronounce happen if it only had one P in it. and not 2Ps. I don't want speed shoes, so I'm just gonna hold back. Ooh, that actually slows you down a lot. It's interesting and very situationally useful. Hey you, start coming over here again. Wow, you move real slowly. That was good. It's only in the water for a split second. You right at the start. Love you. You're not that hard to get. Really? I have my doubts there. That didn't feel correct to my eyes, but Sonic CD special stages seem to believe a lot. Oh, that's not good. That's better. I've only got one left. I just got this speedy jerk right here in the center, and I got him. Wow! Couldn't get all the Chaos Emeralds in Sonic 1. Refused to get all the Chaos Emeralds in Sonic 2. Got all the Time Stones in Sonic CD, and did it the last second. Intentionally. Heck yeah, I got them all. Made every good future I could. Got all the Time Stones. Now we get to revel in just the serenity of Metallic Madness Good Future. This is a sanctuary. Everyone's safe here. Despite the spikes and stuff, it's fine. Everyone's safe here. Just let me live my dream. I'm as the happiest that I could be the... Actually, Metallic Madness 3 is kind of the worst, because it's the only act in the whole game that has a bottomless pit. Every other... Oh, jeez. Of course I managed to fall through absolutely everything. Every other act in the entire game has no bottomless pits. You go down to the bottom of the zone, and there's floor. Which is great. That goes very well with the idea of encouraging exploration from players, because they're not punished for exploring with sudden and unexpected death. But I guess they decided to just kind of drop the pretense here. Still have more than 9 lives, apparently. Not drop below 9 on the counter yet. They decided to drop the pretense here just for a final chance at really challenging players just before the final boss. And you know, I guess that's okay. Wouldn't say I love it, but it's okay. If you don't mind getting hit, then it's pretty easy to cheese this whole little section, which is what I did. Final use of that going into the background gimmick, and now we have a little mini-boss here. We have to deal with a couple of these little lightning bugs. They're pretty annoying because they tend to fly pretty high, and the only way you can really hurt them without getting hurt yourself is to really intentionally hit them from the side. Ooh. Even then, sometimes you still get hurt. But coming at them from below, you will take damage. You will lose that trade. Welcome to Final Fever! Hey everybody, Sonic CD is almost over. This is the final boss. It's done special final boss music and everything. It is possible at some point to hit this boss for the first time without getting hit and losing your rings, but I don't know when it is. I always just damage boost because I'm impatient, and that's how I will always live my life. This one's also a little hard to hit without getting hit, but it's okay. Still worked out in my favor so far, even with only 1 ring left. Come on, toss off your weird things that hurt me for some reason. I don't know why they hurt me in specific when the rest of the boss does not hurt me. Ugh, hate you. And now I just need to not get hit, which on the last phase is not necessarily easier said than done. It's not that bad. It's okay. You gotta be ready for that, and then you gotta be ready for the final move. Just like that. And that's Sonic CD. Oh, Amy's here, for some reason. She says hi. Let's get her out of this place. This is no place for a little tarot reading hammer-wielding hedgehog, who is pink and wears a skirt. Let's enjoy this ending cinematic. For getting all the time stones and or getting good future in every act, we get to set Little Planet free. It seems pretty happy about it. Is Little Planet conscious? Self-aware? I don't know. But it seems to appreciate us. Bye, Little Planet. As we see Little Planet off, let's enjoy my favorite song in the game. I love this game. Thank you so much for watching my LP of Sonic CD. This game is really important to me. There are still some things I kind of want to talk about that I didn't get to, such as like the shortcomings of the GameCube port for Gems Collection, how it's based on a PC port that came out, I think like 1995 or 96, or one of two PC ports that came out in that time frame, and how it probably soured a lot of people's opinions on Sonic CD, since not many people had Sega CDs when this game came out, so not many people got to play it. People who did play it thought it was a really cool novelty, and they probably rated it a little higher than they would have otherwise because they thought they were special for being able to play it, or thought it was a special experience. And other people who got to play it later thought, this isn't that great, this kind of sucks. And how everyone kind of did the general opinion of Sonic CD elevated again when the remake came out for iOS and stuff. I guess I'm talking about it here, but the LP's over. Hope you enjoyed it. I love you. Have a great evening. When your evening comes around. It might not be evening when you're watching this, or that sort of thing, but you know, hope your evening's good when you get there. Thanks.